Welcome to Life Skills TTP. And today, I'm going to be transparent and just let you know that I did not want to become a monster. And it's titled that because of the environments and the individuals' behavior around me throughout my life. So I'm basically a nerd. Okay, I am a person who wants to know every intricate detail about something. And I need to know that before I can give a proper analysis or even an opinion on someone or something. I will premise that with that. Someone and something. And I did not want to become a monster. And so, if people are trying to construct something, and it is a collective effort, and you buy into this fantasy about you actually being this feared person, this tough guy, this, the people say, oh, yeah, you don't want to mess with him type of stuff. At a very young age, will build that character. But for me, it was different because I played sports. My problems came from when I started to socially interact because I didn't really speak slang. I didn't really, I didn't have all the swag and all of that stuff. So I was always on the outside of what was happening. Well, very early on and very, very quickly, I had to start to defend myself. And I couldn't figure out why I had to start to defend myself because I didn't understand we don't really know each other. And then how does another person get other people involved and then they don't even talk to the individual that this is happening to? This is this culture in a sense back then, 80s, 90s. This is it. Nobody checked nothing. Somebody said something, they took it, ran with it. They actually constructed a whole narrative about many individuals, stars and all of that. As you can see now, it's all crumbling down because you can only lie so much. And so I started to fight a lot. And what would be the reason for me fighting someone I actually don't even know? Well, like we don't have nothing was done really disrespectful or nothing like it. They just don't like me. They just don't like me. And so early on I had to figure out, well, man, I got to take up some lessons. I was blessed enough. Up the street was Gerald and Gavin in San Jose. They were into martial arts. So I would go up there and they would show me stuff. They would teach me. And I would go up there on a regular basis. And then I also got to meet Ernie Reyes Jr. and them in San Jose, the karate people. And so I started, because I am that kind of entity, I am that kind of being, all I got to do is learn. I picked it up really fast. So I will say that going back to I did not want to become a monster, now that I've picked up these skills in the art of fighting without nothing like that. No philosophy in it. I just equip myself with another tool because I am getting bombarded by unnecessary nonsense of individuals that I really don't know. And I'm explaining it to you in real time. I'm not reading from a script. I'm explaining this stuff to you in real time. Okay? Because it's kind of hard when you're trying to, how people do documentaries. They say they dress it all up. They have somebody interview you. And then you're like, okay, I need to say this is great for TV and stuff like that. But it's not like that. This stuff is boring. Okay, and all of this stuff is just bad communication and a bunch of individuals with bad behavior. It's almost like, oh no, yeah, we gon' he looks pretty weak or whatever. Like I was skinny, you know, tall skinny kid. I mean, so they just kept poking. They just kept poking and prodding and poking. And so I had to do something about it. I don't want to get into all of that, but I had to do something about it. And because of that, I started getting challenged. It's like, oh, after school. And back then, you got to remember, it's nothing but hands. See, back then, that's how we got out. We settled it, did our thing, whatever, come back. Everybody was cool. Sometimes you wasn't. Sometimes you got down again. Sometimes you got down the third time, and then everybody like, look, man, that's enough. Y'all got to be cool. At that point, it's getting ridiculous. And we hadn't gotten into, you know, you had the drug era, the crack era, but sliding into the 90s, we hadn't gotten into the pistol game and then people playing around with that heat. We hadn't got into that yet. As soon as that started, I was done being triggered. Because that's all that is. I'm going to have another thing about me called anxiety is me. So the trigger, the anxiety. Just to be transparent off the top, what does the anxiety create? The anxiety will start all of the other things that I create in my head that is possibly not true. It's one of the reasons why I fact check everything to make sure that I'm not fooling myself. And this is just me personally. And I'm telling you, I'm transparent with all of this. Maybe it'll help. Maybe you will understand. It's why I'm sharing this. Because I did not want to become a monster. And junior high, going into high school, same stuff. I'm not going to talk about every incident, same stuff. But I started developing this reputation. And somehow I kind of embraced it. It's like, yeah, I'm kind of bad, you know. This nerd. Hey, yeah, don't let that fool you. Most of us study, learn, and we know stuff. Arts, all that stuff. Some of them UFC guys too. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted, man. People learn shit. So after a while, people started talking about, and so I realized they started creating these incidents, and these incidents started to happen more frequently. And then with the alcohol, see, what I'm not telling you is none of this stuff goes on without the alcohol. The alcohol makes me entertain this foolishness back in the day. Like I told you, 21 years sober. But the alcohol made me entertain this foolishness. So I'm telling you, I did not want to become a monster. I did not. But it was headed that way. And sometimes when you're presented with both sides and somehow you end up on the wrong side, then this is where I go into what's going on now. And I'm in California. Well, the minute I got arrested and I got in trouble, now I'm in this Democratic plantation. See, I did not want to become a monster, but now I'm in this thing where they groom you. They got 33 of them. And I understood, I said, oh no, absolutely not. And so the more I got in trouble, because look, for some of us, we would never even enter that world, but we got arrested and we went to jail. And people don't understand that. People say, oh, no, you are in a different system when that happens. And then you start to believe in this because they start to do stuff around you to make you think, yeah, you should yeah, they suppressing the black person and all of this stuff. First of all, do you even know who you are? You're not black. Nowhere around the world they be running around talking that. They talk that stuff here in the United States, and the people come over here, they clone and copy the people here in the United States, but where they're from, they say where they're from. They don't use color. I have a 3-part thing on this channel about black. Check it out. And so once I entered that system, I have to figure out a way to how to get out. And if you are a person like me that creates stuff, does stuff, creates systems, programs this, they using all this stuff for free. They don't, and they not, and they won't, because they feel, okay, you got in trouble, this, whatever. They feel that your life, your time, and everything else belongs to them, even when you're away from it. You know, that weird stuff about probation, if a person is working and doing this thing for a year, they should come off that stuff. But they keep doing that, and then they send all of these. I'm glad they got all of these people out of this country. See, I had to deal with them. And I tell you, I did not want to become a monster. I had to deal with them because they brought all the jobs that were supposed to be high-paying jobs all the way down, $10 or $12 less. So say, for instance, this is $17 in the job. Well, they paid them $9 an hour and then told you, well, you better take $12. This is how they were getting down. And so for years, and I've always worked for years and years and years, this happened. And you end up with nothing. Not only that, these people that they cater to have everything. And even if they sent them back, it don't matter. They had many years to cash out. And it's all tied together. See, what you don't understand about all of that, that's all tied together because they pay these people to target certain individuals. It's just that way. Same with the protesters, same with the certain things. And once I started to understand that, I said, oh, well, I can't win here. And then they never gave me a job. I mean, I got degrees, certificates, and everything. Oh, they had me come. They used me. They want to steal everything I got and then be like, oh, well, how is the person I ran into know nothing? But you don't hire me. So they never hired me for the roles, the proper roles that I'm qualified for. Never. And even when I built up companies, they never lost no money with me. And even when I built up companies, they never even extended a hand to even put me in anything. So I tell you, what did you want me to be? A monster? It's not happening. So you can antagonize all you want. And that was just my thought process going and moving forward. Because I'm saying this to say a lot of people don't understand. You don't enter that world unless you do something wrong. Once you get tagged with that number, you're on that plantation until you get off. Okay? Until you get off. And I understood in 2022 that I had to go. I moved. And I feel 100% better. I can honestly say that. My nervous system is better. That's why I'm going to talk about anxiety is me. I still have the noise thing to trigger. I'm very sensitive. All that stuff over there was completely chaotic to me. You can ultimately see that. I say that because the anxiety is the reason why I have so much stuff on this channel, because I just make stuff. It's therapy for me. And I want people to understand that. This goes deeper than just me giving information, because people don't pay attention to me anyway. You know, they're looking to make some money. I'm showing you how you can have sustainability and also make some money and also be heard the way you want to be heard and not censored or have somebody over you, over your stuff that you don't really oversee. No, I oversee all my stuff. I'm independent. I don't look. That's why I tell you this. This is just a little short thing. I want to keep it 15 minutes. I'm going to try to do these 15-minute things about I didn't want to become a monster. So I know exactly what's going on in California precisely. And I know these clowns, they just playing around because the real system doesn't help you. And that's why they make a joke out of it. But they should bring attention to it to make it better, not worse. Life Skills TTP. I appreciate you hanging out with me. I did not want to become a monster. Enjoy your day.